From the moment Nathan stepped into the quiet, softly lit restaurant in downtown Seattle, he felt something unusual in the air, something heavy, unspoken, almost trembling. His blind date, a woman named Claire, whom his coworker had introduced him to, sat at the table looking like she was trying not to fall apart. And beside her sat a little girl, maybe 6 years old, with wide hazel eyes and a pink dress that looked like it had been washed 100 times. Nathan noticed the tension before he even reached the table, and the moment he saw the little girl's empty plate, no crumbs, no utensils touched, he knew something was wrong. It wasn't the kind of wrong that came from a picky eater or a restless child. It was the kind that came from hunger. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us to be human, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps the channel grow and spreads compassion to more hearts. Nathan sat down, his heartbeat tightening with concern. He had been told Claire was sweet, hardworking, and gentle, but the woman in front of him looked like someone carrying the weight of an entire world she didn't know how to hold anymore. Her hands trembled slightly as she tried to smile, as if forcing composure for the sake of her daughter. Nathan had been a single man for years, still healing after his mother's long illness and passing. He had sworn off dates for a long time. Yet something about this one, this moment, felt like it wasn't about romance at all. It felt bigger, heavier, as though life was placing him at a crossroads he didn't fully understand yet. He watched quietly as Claire shifted her daughter's plate closer, pretending to encourage her to eat, even though Nathan could tell there was nothing left. The little girl's stomach was clearly empty, and Claire's eyes kept darting toward the menu prices like they were landmines. Nathan recognized that kind of fear. He had lived through those years with his mother, years when bills piled up, when dignity bent under necessity, when hunger didn't look dramatic but quietly showed in the hollow moments between breaths. He knew exactly what it meant when someone pretended everything was fine while their heart was breaking right under the surface. As the waiter arrived, Claire quickly placed her hand over the menu, blocking her daughter's view of the options she clearly couldn't afford. She ordered something small for herself, something barely more than a side dish. The little girl said she wasn't hungry, but her eyes betrayed her. Nathan felt something inside him twist. He didn't want to embarrass them, didn't want to make Claire feel like a charity case. But he couldn't sit there and pretend not to see what was happening. He gently ordered a full meal for the little girl, phrasing it casually. "I heard the kids' pasta is really good here. Maybe we can all try some?" And the relief in Claire's eyes was almost painful to witness. The tension at the table loosened slightly as the food arrived. The little girl, whose name was Hannah, tried to eat slowly, as if afraid someone might take the plate away if she enjoyed it too openly. Claire kept lowering her eyes, maybe from shame or gratitude or both. Nathan didn't know. He only knew that something inside him ached to make her feel safe, even for just an hour. Claire began telling him bits about her life. A single mother for 3 years, working 2 jobs, barely keeping up with rent in a tiny apartment. She hadn't wanted to bring her daughter to the date, but her babysitter canceled last minute, and she had no one else. She apologized again and again, but Nathan didn't mind. In fact, he felt honored. It meant he got to see the truth from the beginning, the raw, unfiltered reality of someone fighting to survive. As Hannah quietly played with a paper napkin, Nathan watched Claire's composure crack a little. She admitted she hadn't been on a date in years because every time she felt ready, life dragged her back down. She said she felt guilty for even being here, guilty for taking a moment for herself when her daughter needed so much. Nathan wanted to reach across the table and tell her she deserved rest, love, softness, but he stayed quiet, letting her speak without pressure. Something shifted when Hannah suddenly looked up at him with innocent honesty and asked, "Are you going to be our friend?" The question hit Nathan like a wave, simple, pure, heartbreaking. Claire froze for a moment, humiliation flashing across her face. But Nathan leaned in and answered softly that he would be honored to be their friend. Hannah smiled shyly, then continued eating, trusting him without needing explanations. And in that moment, Nathan realized the truth. This wasn't a blind date. This was a cry for help that life had brought directly to his table. The night went on gently. When the bill came, Nathan paid without hesitation, pretending it was the restaurant's policy for first-time reservations. Claire tried to object, but he brushed it off kindly, not wanting her to feel indebted. As they walked outside, the air was turning cool and the city lights shimmered across the street like quiet reminders that even in darkness, some things still shine. Claire held her daughter's hand so tightly it looked like she feared losing her. Nathan walked beside them slowly, not wanting the moment to end so abruptly. He asked if she needed a ride home, and though she hesitated, she finally nodded, giving in to exhaustion and trust. Driving them home revealed even more truth. Their apartment building was old, worn down, tucked behind a supermarket and far from the safer neighborhoods. She apologized again for the state of her life, but Nathan gently told her that survival was nothing to apologize for. When Hannah fell asleep in the back seat, Claire's strength finally cracked. She admitted she hadn't eaten properly in 2 days because she wanted to give everything to her child. Nathan listened, feeling emotion rise in him like a tide he couldn't fight back. When he helped carry the sleeping child into the apartment, Claire whispered "thank you" in a trembling voice that sounded like it came straight from the part of her heart that she had kept locked away. Nathan didn't linger. He didn't make promises he couldn't keep. But he did place a grocery bag he had secretly bought earlier on her doorstep, a small act of kindness meant to give her one night of peace. As he drove away, he realized something had changed inside him. He didn't want this to be the last time he saw them. He didn't want Claire to continue struggling alone, and he didn't want Hannah's plate to ever be empty again. He didn't know what the future held, but he knew this was the beginning of something meaningful, something that felt like it had been written long before they ever met. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes in kindness. Before the story ends, please comment below. Would you have helped Claire if you were in Nathan's place? And so, on a quiet night in Seattle, one blind date that wasn't supposed to matter ended up becoming a turning point. For a lonely man, a struggling mother, and a little girl whose empty plate finally found someone to fill it.